What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video by Helmet to Helmet 49ers podcast. I am your host, JT, and my co host is my dad.
Hey, what's up, JT?
Well, next we'll be talking about the 49ers vs. Eagles game. But first, cue the intro music. So, first, don't forget to like.
And subscribe.
Okay, now, the 49ers are going to be facing the Eagles NFC Championship rematch
Oh man.
this Sunday.
This game was circled for a lot of fans and, of course, the 49ers themselves. This is the rematch, like you were saying, and it's built up to exactly what it was going to be from the beginning of the season. Some of the biggest powerhouses in the NFC, in the NFL, going head to head. So this has been built up from the beginning, and it's as good as advertised, it seems.
Yeah, Brock Purdy just his elbow like the first quarter, and then we couldn't drive the ball, and Josh Johnson was in and he got hurt as well. And Purdy can throw, so he just had to hand off the ball to Chris McCaffrey every play.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. Yeah, it was not a fair game. So now we do have our quarterback. He's recovered from his UCL injury, and he's looking better than last year, which is amazing. Coming back from the injury, and he's looking sharp. He's coming in hot. So, I'm ready to cook these birds.
Yep, these next four birds, because we're against other birds as well. Well, let's talk about the matchups.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown versus Charvarius Ward, one of the best wide receivers in the league, against one of the best cornerbacks in the league. A.J. Brown he's cooled off a bit because he had a great streak of 125-yard games. It was like 5 in a row.
125 or more, huh?
Yeah.
He was hot because he's on a fantasy, so we kind of haven't been tracking that. But
I hope he does bad this week. So
yeah, heck with fantasy football, man.
and Jake Elliott.
Oh man, yeah, forget about him, the kicker. My God, what a kick last week. Yeah, AJ Brown, one of my favorite receivers coming out of the draft that year. And he has done nothing but play great every year. So, Charvarius Ward will have his hands full like he did with DK Metcalf. I don't know if he's going to play one side or he's going to go follow that receiver, So or a mix of that. But yeah, that'll be a tough order. AJ Brown has been shut down, right? Last game he didn't have a good game. So
yeah, we got a touchdown, but still like 17 yards.
But the next matchup, that's a scarier one too, because both receivers are really talented, and of course, the no catch that this other receiver did last game we played.
Yes,
really
Devontae Smith
turned a tide in the beginning of the game when, Devontae Smith supposedly had caught the ball. Everybody thought they caught the ball, but not until way later did the replay show it touched the ground. It wasn't. And then they rushed to snap the ball, and we never challenged, and they ended up getting a touchdown. And momentum was theirs from the beginning. And then, of course, the Purdy injury happened. So that derailed the whole thing. But yeah, the next matchup, like you were saying, is Devontae Smith versus Lenore.
Or Ambry Thomas.
Oh, Ambry Thomas, exactly. I think they do rotate depending if there's a slot receiver. But yeah, that's a tall order. I think Thomas has been playing very well, so he's not afraid of being up against some of the good receivers, some really good receivers. So we gotta have faith in this one too. That Thomas will rise to the occasion again and raise the level of his play.
And let's look at the let's look at the 49ers offense players versus the Eagles defense players.
Hmm.
Debo versus Darius Slay. Or no, maybe you versus Darius Slay. But James Bradbury versus Debo Samuel. They're probably gonna get a lot of fights because Debo called James Bradbury trash.
He did call him trash, and he didn't back out on that one. He still thinks he's trash, but Bradbury has not had a good season. Um, he has some takeaways, some interceptions, but he's given up like I think an over 100 QB rating when passed against. So that's good for us. And I think Debo, yeah, can have a pretty. I think Debo is gonna. I said this before, and it has didn't happen completely, but I hope Debo can take over this game and just you know back up his talk. Bradbury's trash, and you know.
Yeah, I want James Bradbury to get exposed like Ron Blandon.
Oh man, yeah. Um, Slay also has been having a better season. He's got a maybe he allows about an 80 quarterback rating. Um, better, better. Not perfect though. Not a great shutdown, and he might not be as good as he used to be, but he's a good cornerback too. That one of our receivers will have to go against Ayuk or Debo. Um, but Ayuk is almost unguardable from what I've heard. People are looking at the tapes afterwards and seeing Ayuk is could be open almost every play. I mean, he's that good at his route running.
Yeah, I seen a clip of his running and look, it's so good.
Yeah, yeah, very clean.
And for the offensive line, it's Trent Williams versus Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat.
Okay, even think about those. Really, huh? Okay, dang, that's a tough defensive line. Well, Trent Williams is the silverback man, so no problem. We don't have to worry so much about him.
Yeah, but they might put their best edge rusher, with Hassan Reddick, on our worst offensive lineman, Colt McKivitz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Hassan Reddick, he's been wreaking havoc this year. I think he has about 8.5 sacks.
Yeah.
Maybe leads the Eagles with that too. So he's still on a good roll this season too. So that is going to be a little bit scary. I don't know if they're going to have to leave some tight ends or running backs in to try and help out with that pass rush. Now and then you don't have to all the time. You don't have to leave Kittle in, 80% of the plays and never have him run some routes. You can totally chip him, get a small low block in or block for a short time and then, shoot out for a pass and people will think you're in block and nobody's guarding Kittle anymore. And now he runs out, catches the ball and gets some yak yards.
I just
That's
don't want to try and blocking Hassan Reddick.
yeah, okay, so we got to talk about that a little bit because this is what happened last season in the postseason. Of course, the UCL injury was caused by Hassan Riddick coming in from Purdy's right side um, and messing with his throwing motion, which caused him to mess up his UCL. So I understand what you're saying, but I I think it was just bad luck. Of course, it's bad luck, but I wouldn't really. For me, I don't think it's Croft's fault. Um,
Yeah, more Shanahan.
well, they do it all the time. I mean, it was just say a split second difference with Purdy. If he threw it differently, if he threw it a little earlier, half a second, that motion that he wouldn't have got the injury, and it might have been a touchdown to Ayuk, or it could have been incompletion. Would have been just another play, and nobody would have even thought about Croft uh, blocking Riddick. But it caused that injury, season-ending injury for him, for Purdy. So now, I don't know. I think it's okay, but we do have to focus on Riddick, definitely. I mean, he's their best rusher, pass rusher. So, um, if we need to put Charlie Warner out there or something,
I prefer our best
okay,
blocking tight end,
okay. But
Driscoll.
Kittle, sure, McCaffrey goes out there, just kind of chips him while running a route, then that's cool. Or stays in the block, use check, whatever. Yes. So I don't blame Croft for that, or Shanahan. It's just bad luck that 1 second, yeah, perfect storm happened. Anyways, all right. What's next to talk about? Matchups.
Yeah, there are a lot of matchups because both teams have great players, and there are a lot of great players against great players. Like Jordan Mailata, he's the Eagles' left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's going against Chase Young. Apparently, Chase Young has made a big impact on the 49ers defensive line, but not statistically.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like when we had D Ford on the other side, although D Ford did have sacks, it always helped when we had somebody opposite of Nick Bosa to really close up the pocket. We got 4 really good pass rushers in the line right now, so it's just we're rich with that stuff. You know, very lucky that they signed these people, Hargrave, and traded for Young. And drafted Armstead and Bosa. So we have a great D line. So I hope our rushers can definitely get to the quarterback and contain Hurts, because he's a runner too. That's the scary thing. Even if we close the pocket, he can squeeze out and squirt out and run for some yardage. So we need somebody to maybe spy him, like Greenlaw, spy him and watch him, keep him contained. Yeah.
And then another matchup is Nick Bosa versus Lane Johnson, best right tackle in the league, and arguably the best defensive end in the league.
Really? Who's the Lane Johnson guy, anyways?
Well, he's a 98 overall in Madden, so he's probably good.
He's 33 years old, from what I remember, and two All Pros, 3-time Pro Bowler, if I remember correctly. He's been playing pretty well this season, yes. But hopefully Nick Bosa's got the speed, the power, technique, to
I'd go for his knee. He's too old.
He's still playing well this year, though. Johnson is. So yeah, it's gonna be a battle, man. Some of the best versus the best, and that's why this game is like hyped up, man. Um, we are 3-point favorites. Just to remind all the faithful.
Yeah.
Amazingly, amazingly, I mean, a team that is 10-1, playing at home with the starting quarterback, are underdogs. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But Niners are hot. Eagles have been, right, off and on. They play one good half, one
Yeah.
bad half. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Hopefully they play all halves really bad.
Yeah. I mean, no, they haven't come up against the steamroller, which is the Niners defense. So let's hope for the best here. Should be a great game. What other matchups do we have?
Well, it's Javon Hargrave's, I guess, revenge game. So it's Javon Hargrave versus Jason Kelsey. Jason Kelsey had 2 false starts, and luckily the Eagles have a great kicker, Nick Elliott, 59 yards.
In the rain.
Yeah.
God.
Hargrave has 6 sacks, so
Yeah, Hargrave's coming back home, huh? I mean, we signed him as a free agent away from the Eagles. What did he have last year? 11 sacks, I think.
yeah.
He was really good for them. And, well, Hargrave is almost on pace for 11 sacks now. We just kind of passed by the halfway point. So, hey, he could have just as big of an impact for us as he did with the Eagles. So, Kelsey is really good. I mean, can't wait until he retires. That's how much I dislike him, because
Yeah,
he's
focus
too
on your
good.
podcast. Our podcast is better.
Yeah, so that's, of course, that's going to be a great matchup. Hargrave versus Kelsey, Armstead, whoever's going up against Kelsey, the center, is going to be a battle in the trenches again too. So great O line, great D line, man. All right, what's up with the other matchups? What do we got here, huh?
Well, I think we've gone through all the matches
Okay,
basically. So the injuries, Armstead, he has like I think a foot injury, and he's questionable. But he said he's gonna play, so he's probably gonna play against the Eagles then. And then Jordan Mason, it's fine because you don't give the ball to him anyways.
he's a special teamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ray McLeod also questionable. So it's time for Ronnie Bell to sign.
I mean, I don't mind as long as he doesn't put the ball on the ground. I would love to see what Ronnie Bell can give, the spark he can give on some returns. With Jordan Mason, I've been calling his name almost every week. Give him the ball, but it's not going to happen. I pretty much give up. He's just going to be, unless there's any injury, he's not going to be seeing much at all offensive snaps. Uh, maybe garbage time, but that's useless. Um, he can shine in big game situations too, I think. But anyways,
TDP's gonna be third stringer then. And for the Eagles, Dallas Goddard, he is doubtful.
okay, that's good.
And their other tight end, for his name, is questionable, so they might go to the third string tight end.
There was a little rumor I heard. Zach Ertz was released by the Cardinals just
Oh
yesterday,
my god.
and Zach Ertz did play with the Eagles. So I don't think he's gonna. He doesn't have time. I don't think to be claimed
Yeah,
off
even if he
waivers.
does get claimed, he's not gonna have time to play.
Yeah, yeah. It's rest around the corner. I mean, I haven't checked the news, but I hope he doesn't go to the Eagles. Zach Ertz. Who
And
else?
um, Fletcher Cox is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
Their defensive tackle, but honestly, they have great defensive tackle depth. They have Jordan Davis and Devontae Wyatt.
And don't forget Jalen Carter, right?
Oh, yeah, the big one, Jalen Carter. Three Georgia defensive tackles.
Okay. All right. What else we got?
Okay, and the Eagles, they invented like basically the most unstoppable play of all time, the tush
Mm-hmm.
push.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I got some thoughts about
Do,
that
do
one.
you think the 49ers can stop the tush push?
I think I feel like they can, and I'm gonna be so excited when that happens. When I see that happen, because the tush push is like I've been watching some videos on that. It's really interesting. And how come no other team can reproduce the tush push, but the Eagles can? I saw that there was some statistics data showing that it was a 93%. Uh, it was it came, they were able to run it on 4th and 1 or whatever. Um, so 93% of the time it's successful, which is by far better than any type of play, even a QB sneak or anything like that. So it is almost unstoppable. Um, but then Fred Warner was interviewed about that this past week, and he's like, "I got something planned." He said,
I think I know what he's got planned. He always likes to jump the line,
"Uh-huh,
so
I think so, exactly." Um, so the center, Kelsey plus a guard, they kind of form a V, and they form like a tip of a spear, a wedge, and then they go real low. Of course, they snap the ball, so the defensive line has to react after they snap. By that time, they've already dug down low, and then they have a little bit more of a push, and then they have, a tight end or receiver or something behind Jalen Hurts, pushing him over the top. It's really hard to stop. I've seen some people try to stop it, and somebody jumps over the top of the pile, but they don't even touch the quarterback. It's like you should be aiming for the quarterback because he has the ball while you're jumping over and missing everybody. So if Fred Warner is going to go helmet to helmet,
Winners podcast.
yes, to Jalen Hurts, make him pay. Unfortunately, they might both get concussed, but yeah, knock him out, knock Jalen Hurts out of the game. They might not be willing to do the tush push so much from then on.
Also, I remember in a game where Swift got the ball and they fake tush pushed.
That is really exactly so. I would throw some safeties or corners out on the edge, just in case, and I'll have our linebackers jump over the top to try and stop Jalen Hurts. So we'll cover the outside and with some safeties, and we'll get the linebackers aiming like a missile for Jalen Hurts over the top. And of course, our defensive line, has to react quickly and get real low to get some leverage on a push to stop their push. So it's really complicated. It seems like the unstoppable force, and I hope the Niners defense can stop them, and that will be so much momentum. Man, that would get the Niners going so much if they could stop the tush push
Yeah, and Caution said they've been practicing.
a little bit. Actually, Shanahan said they practice a little bit, but you can't really practice it. He was joking that if you practice it, all your players would be injured with concussions and stuff because it's a dangerous thing to keep practicing with your own team, you know? So it's something Shanahan says they could practice a little bit, but not too much. Not too much, or else it's just too dangerous for our own players to hit each other in the helmets. And then, so yeah, we're just gonna have to hope Fred Warner has that secret weapon.
Okay, now let's talk about some statistics. The 49ers defense allows 15.5 points per game. Obviously, you can't have half points, but that's first in the league.
Oh, really? Wow, that's great.
But the Eagles have the tied third best offensive league, well, points per game at least. And guess who's tied with them? The Niners.
The Niners and the Eagles are tied for third most points per game.
Yeah, 28.2.
Wow, exactly, huh? What a matchup. Okay.
I can definitely see the 49ers allowing more than 15 points against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
There's basically no way to have them score less than 15 points because the offense is so dominant. They have great players at every single position.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. The run game. We didn't even talk about DeAndre Swift. I mean, like, what a pickup for them. They've improved the run game, I would say, from Miles Sanders last year. DeAndre Swift has been looking really good. So the the rich get richer on their side, right? Just like we kind of did too. So yeah, two juggernauts. All right.
And the 49ers are first in interceptions with 15.
Yeah, I can't even believe that. It's
Yeah.
like I don't remember us having that many. Yeah, I always want more, but I don't remember us having that many. And league leading 15 interceptions. That's great.
I'll keep begging for a ball hawk.
I mean,
Then you have 15
I
interceptions.
know what Ward has some, Hufanga, Warner, Thomas, Lenore. I think had one, at least one, right? So yeah, okay, 15. Jeez, where did that come from? Oh, Jair too, right?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, and then let's do our predictions.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. So let's try something different. Huh? Let's go with like a player from the offense that you think is gonna break out. We'll go offense, and then we'll do one on defense too. So, what did you think about offense? Who do you think is going to break out?
I think Debo's going to break out. he's gonna back up his word on James Bradbury. He's gonna have over 100 yards. I think 2 receiving touchdowns and like one rushing touchdown.
What? 3 touchdowns?
Yes.
It's gonna be a Debo game. I would love to see that again. The dominance of Debo come back. He's really good, but he hasn't dominated like he did that special year when he was the wide back for us. Let me see. I would say breakout offensive player for us will be George Kittle. Um, they don't. Their defense is not really good at containing the tight end, and Zach Cunningham, their linebacker, the starting linebacker. I don't think he's going to play. So on top of that, um, I think Kittle can feast. Purdy is great throwing down the middle, intermediate routes. And I think this is a great recipe for George Kittle to have a breakout game. Okay. So you want to stay with the breakouts or go stay with the offense?
We can do the breakout for the
Okay.
defense.
All right. Let's go. Breakout defensive player. Who do you think is going to have a breakout game for us on the defensive side?
I'm gonna say Chase Young
Okay. Yeah.
because he hasn't had that much. Like one half is like it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I think this game's gonna get two.
Yes. Oh man, yes. I would love that because we need to get Hurts. We need to get pressure on Hurts. That guy has some bad football times. I mean, I forgot how many interceptions he's thrown. 10?
Yeah, 10.
10 interceptions, and I've read that he lost 4 fumbles. So, he'll give the ball back. And if we pressure him to make some bad throws or whatever, that can happen. We can get those turnovers. Uh, you know, Hurts is what runs that offense, the quarterback, of course. And he's a very good quarterback, probably league leading MVP vote getter right now. I'd imagine he probably win it if the season ended right now. Yeah, so Chase Young is a great pick. I'm gonna pick Fred Warner because I think he's gonna be very key in coverage, uh, stopping Swift, and also stopping the tush push. That's my breakout defensive player. So on the other side, let's go for who do you think is the most important an important player on the offense to have a good game for us to be victorious.
Well, obviously, we need Purdy to play well because he's the quarterback. He
Yeah.
has to. Revenge game.
Oh man,
Well,
it
every single
is.
player for Niners. It's a revenge game.
Except for Hargrave.
Mm, he used to play for the Eagles,
He didn't lose to the Eagles, so it's not a
but he's mad
revenge
at the Eagles they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Boo hoo! Didn't win the Super Bowl. That's too bad. Poor Eagles. Yeah, Purdy. My God, like you were saying, this is such a big game for Brock Purdy. I mean, he was going to show the world how good he was in the NFC Championship game, about to go to the Super Bowl. Rookie, Mr. Irrelevant. Oh my God, that was such a big game for him, and it just went. The balloon popped, huh? All the air came out. UCL, my God. So yeah, a lot is riding on this, and this is his way of proving that he belongs and that he is an elite quarterback at the NFL. You know, um, we'll talk about the whole MVP later, but I will go with my important offensive player is Colton McKivitz because he is going to be protecting um,
Brock
the right
Purdy.
side. Yeah, against Hassan Riddick, who is a troublemaker for many offenses and quarterbacks. So, um, this is his first year starting, and he's going to have to go up against Hassan Riddick in Philly with all the fans going crazy. It's going to be so important that he has a solid game and that Hassan Riddick does not cause havoc with our game, offensive game. Yeah. How about defensive side? important player for you?
I think Amber Thomas, he's guarding Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, some of the best receivers in the league, and this is like his maybe fourth straight game starting.
Oh, that's a good pick. I was gonna pick that too. I'm gonna go another way, but that's a great pick because Amber Thomas has, yeah, like you said, has to go up against both those two great receivers, and Philly likes to throw deep. So because of that, I'm gonna choose Jair Brown as an important player to have a good game. He is a rookie. This is only his second start, and he's gonna go up against the great Philly team in Philadelphia. He is from Penn State though, so he is from that area from his college days. But it's going to be a lot on his plate too to stop the big play and um, stop AJ Brown and Smith from making huge chunk yards and touchdowns and stuff too. Um, let's get an interception here too, Jair Brown. Let's show him what you're made of. All right, interesting. That's great. So, like I was talking about, I was listening to the MVP talk about the NFL, and Jalen Hurts is right now statistically. People will say that he has the best chance of winning MVP, and Purdy's, I don't know, all the way down ninth or something, out of the top five. But Purdy is having a great year. He's leading the NFL in pass completion at 70.2%. He's also leading the NFL in passer rating with 112.3. And he's also leading the NFL in many statistics. But another one is pass per attempt at 9.4 yards per attempt. So he's not dinking and dunking. He's not, throwing a 2 yard out route or something, swing route to a running back or something. He's going deep. He goes for the deeper pass plays when even the short plays, we watch the game, we're like, McCaffrey's open for a 5 yard or something, and instead he goes way deep and throws a 25 yarder to Kittle or something instead. He's looking for the big play. He's not happy just dumping it off, which is great. He has a lot of he's brave. That Purdy.
Well, what is your score prediction though? Because that's a
Okay.
big thing.
I think this is going to be a crazy game. Um, Two great defenses, two great offenses. I'm going to go with a kind of an odd score. Just pop in my head. 25-19. Niners win, of course. But it's less than a touchdown. So it's going to be nerve-wracking to the last second. So, yeah. How about you?
I'm gonna say Jake Moody gets a game-winning field goal,
Oh,
and this final score is 37-35.
37. Oh, that is really close, man. The biggest thing is the whole talk is, can the Niners, if they fall behind, can they come back? And it's supposed to rain, right? A little bit of rain, maybe, or a lot of I don't know. But last time I heard it was like 75% chance of rain.
I hate running games.
So I read that Purdy said unless it's pouring down rain, then he'll wear a glove. If it's just kind of sprinkling, he's not going. He doesn't think it's going to make a big deal without gloves. Mm. So, what do you think about that?
I mean, we've seen Purdy have the ball slip out of his hands,
That was in Cleveland, yeah,
and it was raining.
yes,
Yeah, I think he's gonna wear gloves,
uh
even if
huh,
it is sprinkling, just in case.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be rain, so it's going to be a little bit wet or a lot wet. So that's one thing. And of course, the whole thing is if the Niners fall behind, can they come back? Because the Eagles often come back from behind. They come back every time. when they're behind. So they've only lost once to the Jets, um, but many times they've come from behind. So can the Niners do it? This will be a big test. And if Purdy can show that he can, if we do have to come from behind, and he puts them back in the lead in the fourth quarter, say this would change the whole talk about MVP and raise Purdy up a lot in people's minds. I think so. This is really important in a lot of aspects.
Well, that wraps up for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And goodbye.